Savage,
Yes, sir.
what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about?
Yeah.
Damn, I thought we
Yeah,
had an actual
Script.
script.
we
Hold
do.
on.
But I just want to start out with that.
Okay. When you go for walks, do you like to go to a certain place, or do you just go wherever randomly? Like you go in a certain direction?
When I'm walking Apollo, it's random. It's completely random. So
Mm.
I just usually let him pick whichever way we go. Sometimes he goes left, sometimes he goes right. So I go that way, and then we just end up walking until he starts doing his heavy pants, and I'm like, okay, time to go back home.
You wait for him to start pantsing. Okay.
Yeah, and then whenever it's me, just whenever I want to go, I can just go until I'm just feel like coming back.
Okay. And you start? Do you go on walks, hikes, anything like that?
I do. There's certain places that we go depending on the mood. Lately, we've been going to one of the lakes nearby because there's a walking path, so my dad can go fishing, me and my sister can go for a walk. There's also a hiking trail. But it's normally one of the two lakes near us, or we just legit walk outside and then just pick a path up the woods and see where it takes us.
Yeah,
Nice. All right, Lana, what do you want to talk about?
All I can think about right now is food, I'm gonna be honest.
All right.
It's the only thing on my
Let's
mind.
talk about food.
What are your guys' favorite dessert?
Cheesecake.
Actually, funny because was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday morning we went into work. Or was it this morning? I can't remember if it was this morning or yesterday. But I came into work. 7 a.m. is when we start, and my coworker comes up to us and he has some homemade cheesecake, and he's like, "You want a slice?" And I'm like, 7 a.m. Sign me up. I don't care. I don't care what time of day it is. You ask cheesecake for me, I'm saying yes. Apparently, it was one of the people in the office. It was just leftover cheesecake from his Mother's Day dinner. So I was like, all right, I'll have some of that. It's pretty good, homemade, but cheesecake is the way to go for me.
Nice.
I personally love brownies.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Count me out, dog.
Count you out? You don't like brownies?
He doesn't like chocolate.
You don't like chocolate at all? Okay.
So, what do I want to talk about?
Well, hold on. You didn't answer though. What is your favorite dessert?
Cheesecake. Cheesecake is my favorite.
Yeah. I thought you were just saying me because I like cheesecake. I did not know you were a big fan of cheesecake too. Okay.
Excuse me. So what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about life a little bit.
Life.
Yeah. How's life treating you?
Before we get into that, before you said life, and we're talking about chocolate, and then the quote came to me: "Life is like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you're gonna get." That just came to my mind like instantly for some reason, which I think is true in a way. You never know what you're gonna get in life.
Yeah, that's true.
No, you don't.
You don't know. Yeah. So how's life treating you, Lana?
Life is a bitch.
Bit.
But
bitch.
yeah, I mean, right now at this very moment, it's a nice bitch, but still a bitch nonetheless at times. No, I've met a lot of good people, and I've been started streaming, which has been really fun. But there are obstacles that have come up in my life, and I just gotta work through them. But I got good days and bad days.
Yeah,
I feel that.
But recognizing the bad days and allowing yourself to have a bad day, I think not a lot of people do, because they get so in the thing of society where you have to keep going, you got to keep pushing, that we don't give ourselves just a day to kind of relax. Have a bad day, lay in bed all day if you need to, whatever it is.
I get that.
I get that. I really get that. It's a little deep. This is her fucking podcast now. Like I keep telling her, this is her fucking podcast. She goes so deep in everything.
You keep asking me to come back, like.
I can't help it. You're
You do?
good. You're good conversation. You're not unruly. You don't ask for a lot, so.
And you don't give like one-worded like replies. You give an actual like statement. You don't just
Yeah.
say, "Oh, life is okay, I guess," and then just end it there with no details.
Exactly.
I mean, if I'm gonna go on a podcast, like I've been through a lot of shit in my life, and I've always been very closed off in how I am in a way. Like I'm very open and bubbly, but like trauma and stuff I keep very close, and like how I'm actually thinking and feeling I keep close. Like I'm very close off with that. But I'm learning to be more open and more expressive with it. And that it's okay to like share that with people because everybody goes through shit like that, and it's not necessarily makes you weak or bad to have those things.
Yeah. Yep. I get that. So, Savage,
Yes, sir.
how is life treating you?
I mean, it's better than it used to be, so that's a good step, you know. It's been positive for the last like 2.5 years now. So I mean, we all have our ups and downs, obviously some good days, bad days, you know. But I count my blessings every day. It could be a lot worse than what I have, so I'm grateful for what I have, you know. I got clothes on my back, food at the table, and a nice warm house to live in. So I try not to dwell too much on the negative and just think of the positive. But still, there's gonna be days though where you're gonna still, you know, get frustrated, stressed out. That's natural. Um, like last week, you know, I told you about that whole delivery I had at work. 3 of us tried to deliver this stuff to a house. The house was very poorly designed for delivering cabinets to a second floor. Cabinets themselves are way too big. The stairway was too small. We ended up dinging the wall, sadly, so I had to tell my boss about that. But you know, it's the first time that actually ever happened. You know, 4.5 years at this company, and that's the first time we actually damaged a wall or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's frustrating, you know, because you try to be good, professional, and then that happens, and after that, it kind of kills the vibe for the rest of the day. You know, we're sweating, our backs are hurting, trying to carry these things upstairs, and it was frustrating. But you know, I was just happy to get through the day. Came home, had a drink, and then vibed out. But like I said, I'm pretty happy with life right now, overall.
Well, that's good. That's good. Also, Drift, it's nice to see you. I don't mind the Joe Hendry lyrics. It's fine. Cotton, welcome in. It's good to see you again. She said hi to each one of us. So you know, we're doing good. Life. How's life
Yeah,
treating me?
yeah.
Life's treating me okay. You know, it's treating me okay. I saw that look. I saw that sash. You know, I have my good days and bad days, like always. Stress over every single thing, every single aspect of my life, like always. Because let's be honest, I'm a control freak from hell. But I'm letting go here and there. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm enjoying life again. Got this motivation. Found, how do I say this? Found a new inspiration. There you go. That's the way to say it. Found a new inspiration, and
Nice.
it's been good. It's been going good.
That's good. Motivation's always good. It's I think every person kind of needs that, you know, big or small, something to make a drive for you, you know, something to for a future dream or something just to go into the future. You know, you need something to progress in life.
So we're going to talk about where life is leading.
Okay.
But before we get that, we're going to play this nice little intro that we had Easy make because I always forget every single fucking episode.
That was really good.
What's
Yeah,
good?
This sound very professional, like a radio talk show host or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get them to do like books, thanks to talk to audio books and stuff like that. I send them the link.
Good.
I send them the link for it. It's like, look, man, all you gotta do is fill this out and then just apply, and one of them's going to hit you back. That's all you gotta do. Extra money, you know. Everybody likes a little extra money.
Yeah, doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah,
Just send it over.
First take. It was first take. Take. Easy.
Hey, there you go.
Easy. Do you want to be on the podcast right now? I just want to
Come
know.
on down.
Do you want to? I'll send you the link. You already know how it works.
See,
Or are you
having a
busy?
voice, yeah, could be having a good voice can take you a long way.
I'm naked.
Well, you don't have to put your camera on. You could just
Yeah,
Yeah,
talk.
you could just
you could
have
just
your camera off,
talk.
man. You can just have your camera off.
I like how it's in all caps too.
Oh my god. All right, Skeeter, I know you're in the chat. Type something because you're messaging me on the side. Type something in the chat. It's fine. You have questions, anything like that, just let us know. Still waiting to hear what the secret was. Yeah. Oh, there you are. There you are, Skeeter. Yeah. All right. So we are talking about where life is leading you. Like always, I have some pretty fair questions lined up, and we go from there and we drift off, have stories, everything like that. So we're gonna just get into it. Okay. Where do we start? Who do we start with, actually? And you got a question? Go ahead. You put it in the chat. Who do we
Please
start
do.
with? Let's start with you, Savage.
Hmm.
What was your first big choice that changed your life from childhood to now? First big choice.
I've talked about this in previous episodes. One of my biggest like fears really is new things. I'm not accustomed to, so that could be just like a new environment, new job, stuff like that. Like I always have I don't like being in a situation or a place that is unfamiliar. I like to know what I'm surrounded. And you'll notice that when if I'm like on walks or if I'm in a store, I'm always checking my surroundings. I'm always looking at seeing who's in the store, what are they doing. I like to be aware of my surroundings for that reason. But I think going from that, it was probably just going to college, I guess, because going to a new school it was so bizarre because you graduate high school, everyone you've known for the last 4 years is just gone, mostly, unless you connected with them through after that. But I'm going to college. I'm going there to experience life, and some people find it thrilling. It's cool. You get to experiment and stuff like that. But for me, it was nerve wracking. And I kind of still have that to this day, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Because getting a new job won't be as bad as it used to be as going to school. I'd be kind of really quiet and just kind of an introvert, I guess would be the word. Yeah. But now it's completely different. Today I just say fuck it, and it's gonna be uncomfortable at first, but I'm gonna have to push through it. But I think it through that that was a big change for me. Just kind of like learning to deal with that kind of thing in life.
Okay. I'm gonna go next because Lana always somehow steals the spotlight. So yeah, for me it was the choice of when I got out of high school. It was, what am I gonna do? And I knew what I wanted to do. I had a full-ride scholarship to play football, and it was that or do the military. And I talked with my mom. I was like, I really want to join the military. She's like, not the army though. I was like, fine, I'll find any other branch, no problem. Join the Navy, and that was the most rewarding decision I've ever made and biggest choice I ever made because it sculpted the rest of my life. Between connections made to experiences I'll never thought I would have. All the friendship, camaraderie that came with it. Fuck you, Easy. It wasn't 30 years ago. But yeah, recently I saw a picture like from when I graduated boot camp, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, time flies, right?
Yeah, I was like, that. I thought it was like a couple years ago. And I looked at the time, and it's like 14 or something years, 14, 15 years. I was like, oh my fucking God. So yeah, it kind of just brought back memories of just how happy I was. Fuck you too, Jamie. Fuck you too. Getting close my ass. So yeah, it's been one of those things that made my life better, gave me purpose. So I'd say that big choice was a good thing.
Okay. Now, so when your mom said no to army, is it because of like she just wanted to make sure that you wouldn't be put in a bad situation?
Good luck with that. I still became a fucking corpsman and still ended up over there. No, it's because she was army and
Okay.
she saw how cliquey and how much political it was with the army,
Oh,
so
okay.
she didn't want me to deal with that same thing.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know army was like that.
Mhm.
And
I
it's
figured.
every branch is like that, honestly.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you got like your jarheads, Marines, and such. That they're the first in the line. They're the badasses, but they deal with a lot of shit too. And then you got Army, then you got National Guard, you got Navy, Air Force. They're all badass in their own way, but they all deal with different things. So I was curious why not the Army, but okay, interesting.
Why'd you look down? Why'd you look down? Huh? Huh?
Hi, I'm a jarhead.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I work with two of them, so he's got the can-do attitude of a Marine through and through. The other one was he was a Navy too, so.
All right, Lana,
Yes.
your turn.
What's the question?
Jesus fucking Christ! I thought this is your show.
No. You thought wrong.
What was your first big choice that changed your life?
I had to have been joining the Marines.
It's definitely
Like,
tough.
I had a lot of things that did change my life before that, but the most impactful and the biggest thing was joining the Marines. It fundamentally changed everything about me. Like, the only thing I think it didn't change would be just like my bubbly personality, being very friendly and, wanting what's best for people and being a people pleaser, but everything else, how I think about the world, about myself, that completely changed. It changed me physically. It brought out things that I didn't know I could do or that was going on with me. So it was the most, I like to say that joining the Marines, like, shaped me into who I am now. And I will never regret that decision.
Yeah.
It's good. Gives
Right.
you a form of structure, and I know it's tough being in the military, especially like boot camp. They put you through the ringer really quick. I get stories
Yeah.
all the time from my coworker, and he was like, yeah, it was rough, but worth it in the end.
Mhm. It's so fulfilling and rewarding going through those 3 months of hell. And then standing there after you do 3 months of hell, you do the crucible, which is basically 3 days on like 4
Mhm.
hours of sleep. And standing there getting your EGA, we all bawled. Every single one of us.
Oh yeah, it's not easy, but they're training you to be tough though. That's the whole purpose.
Baby is here.
Baby is here.
Hey. It's like you knew.
Relax. What do you mean relax? Why are you telling me relax, dog? What do I stress out about? Yeah.
Is a cute cat.
Yeah. I
Kitty,
told
yeah.
Zero.
This is
Zero.
my cat Zero. He is a fluff boy, chunky, cute pie, who is a lap cat.
Lap cat. You gonna let me borrow?
You're stretching.
That's stretch. Oh God.
He's got the most precious baby blues.
So with those choices you made, do you have any regrets not choosing differently?
No, definitely not.
Me, not at all.
I don't.
Raider keeps trying to. He's been for like 4 weeks now, trying to steal my cat, saying it's borrowing. No, I actually am really proud of my decision because I was gonna go Air Force, but I don't think that would have been right. I think Marine was the only thing for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I don't have regrets, but my buddy Lane, because we both got full ride scholarships, and he went the football route, and now he's a professional football player and everything like that. And he's like, could have been you, bro. And I was like, that's nice to think about and dream about, but it's not. It wasn't for me, so it's like I don't regret anything on that standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to, I think personally, people should never really regret things, because it kind of structures and forms you to who you are that current day, and you kind of go into the future, hopefully with a better mindset, and for a better future in general. Yeah, we make mistakes along the way, and there are things that you can, I guess the word would be regret, but not really regret, but more of like learn from the mistakes you make and become a better person in general. There's certain things obviously that you can't really come back from, but that's a different topic in general. But for like in general life, I think that's how it is. At least that's for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, so you spoke about emotions, Lana, like when you got your EGA,
Mm-hmm.
that pride, everything like that. What emotions did you feel when you started that whole journey?
Oh, I was fucking terrified. So I had to go in as a weight waiver. And for those of you who don't know, it was basically a piece of paper that even though I was not in the weight requirement, I was underweight for their requirements, I was still allowed to go into boot camp. So I was terrified because I had spent 6 months beforehand just trying to build up muscle and weight and keep it at a steady weight. And I was just still fluctuating too much. But I was absolutely terrified. I mean, I remember the first day, it was just pitch black out, stepping on those yellow footprints, and then going into a building where you immediately start getting screamed at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was, I will never forget that. I remember you had to do the phone call and you have to yell into it. It scared the shit out of my parents. But, like, you couldn't laugh, you couldn't show emotions. And it took a bit to, like, all of us as a group to just figure out our footing. But like Terry had pointed out with his mom saying like the army had cliques, like boot camp there was definitely cliques. Everybody had their group or their people that they liked, and I kind of floated. I was very invisible. I was very much a wallflower.
Okay.
So I kind of put my hands into everything I could. I did laundry, I did carrying the water jugs, and then I guess our senior drill instructor saw that and she made me the house mouse. And it was very interesting because I got to go into the quarters where the drill instructors are and clean it for them. And I saw a different side of them. And because I was the only one who did that, it was just kind of funny in a way that nobody else got to see that. But yeah, no, absolutely fucking terrified.
So, my first experience when I got off that bus, they had a buds prep group there. They always do it, and I didn't know why at first because I was like, these guys are so fucking uniform and in line and in step and in track of everything. They're loud, they're confident, everything like that. And you see us getting off the bus, we're like, what the fuck's going on here? Saw Senior Chief Hanamio. I still keep in contact with him, and he was fucking scary. I don't get scared of people, but he had this presence about him. And at the time, he's in his NSUs, so he's all his ribbons, medals, everything like that showing, and I didn't know where most of them meant. I knew what one of them meant, and that was FMF pin. And I was like, cool. And if you don't know what FMF is, it's Fleet Marine Force, and that's Dot. And I was like, I want to be like him when I grow up. But yeah, he drilled us like crazy. He forgot about one of us because he forgot about one of us for once. Like he's like, this is your punishment. You're gonna do 8 counts. He walked the fuck away at 50, and he said, if you fucking stop, I swear to God, I'll fucking end your life. Just fucking did not care. Came back. Well, we didn't know at the time that there are certain rules in boot. They're just rules, but we don't know about them. Mm-hmm. This guy got up to, I think, 250. Like, he was barely making it. He came back. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, you said don't stop or you'll kill me. He's like, I didn't say that. It's when everybody else was there. He's like, I didn't say that. I did not say that. So get up, go over there. And we just thinking to ourselves, like, that was weird, right? And then we started learning because we were a rifle group, so it was all males. So we all talk to each other all the time. So we're just like, there's a line.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were that group. They're like, let's figure out where that line is. So yeah, my buddy Ryan, he was with me, and we both came from East Texas, knew each other already, and his words were so simple. He's like, let's see how pissed off we can get them before we graduate. Yeah. Yeah. He is that personality. He loved to push the line. And he just every day it was something new. It was not training, gas chamber, every fucking thing there is. Even pistol qual.
Oh no.
He pushed the fucking line. So yeah, we just went through it. And then they said, you know what? We're gonna make you LPO. And he's like, what? So yeah, you want to be in the front of everything? You want to show your ass? You're in charge of every fucking body now. And that honestly was the turning point of Ryan. He changed a lot, and he became responsible. He became like the best person I think ever leading. And then when we graduated boot, he went his way. He went to Buds, and I went to core school. Ran across him again at Camp Lejeune. And I was like, why are you here? He's like, I dropped out of Buds because I had stress fractures on my legs. I was like, okay. I said, so what's your rate? He's like, I'm corpsman now. I said, cool. Who you with? He's like, I'm with 36. Awesome. He asked me, I was like, I'm a 19. He's like, you're leaving soon. I said, yep. I said, so are you. So it was a good reunion, and then ran into him again about 2 years later, and he wasn't the same. And he had this aura about him that always like brought you up. If you were down, anything like that, he'd always bring you up, and he's always had that, but it was just different. So he just made everything better. But yeah, so when I think about the emotion of everything and how it affects me, like making that choice, I think it's great. It's wonderful. My support system wasn't there at first, so it works out. Yeah. Did you get the support you needed? You felt you needed when you made that choice?
Me?
Anybody? Did you feel like you got the support you needed when you got that choice?
Yes and no. I definitely got it from my mom. She was
Okay.
scared shitless for me. I'm middle of 5. My second eldest sister went Navy 3 years before I went Marines. And so my mom was already like terrified for her because she was a nuclear engineer in the Navy. Yeah, she hella smart. She was hella smart, so I had to go Marines and be like hella strong and badass to like complement each other. But so just the support of her was good. Like she was like, you're an adult, this is your decision. Like, do I want you to do this? No, but this is your life and I'm gonna support what you want to do. My stepdad was very much the same way. He was obviously terrified because I've been in his life since I was 11 months old. So to watch this little baby then grow up and then go off into boot camp, he's like terrified. But I both made them very proud. But my biological father it was a very different and worse reaction. So it was not supportive. It was not the tipping point, because the tipping point of the change of our relationship happened a while before that, but that's where like that was right before the last straw. So like I did boot camp and then that following Christmas. So I went into boot camp in April, came out in July, went to MCT, Marine Combat Training, in August, was in my schoolhouse that December. I cut contact with him, and then I fully cut contact to that May
Okay.
of the next year. So,
All right.
definitely was a turning point. But
Interesting.
Good.
Now, here's a quick question for Alana. When in the military boot camp, did you get double rations?
yes,
Because as skinny as you are, my coworker was the same.
yes,
He was also Marines, and no matter how much he ate, no matter how much they put him through, he actually lost weight. So like, dude, you need to gain muscle, not well, he gained muscle but lost like all body fat. So he was wicked skinny, but it was like they need to bulk you up.
He was
So they
super
gave
lean.
him, yeah. He's
I
much like I am, where we're just very thin but like lean.
have a funny story about that. I was on double rations. There was another girl on double rations who the drill instructors used to yell at because I got double rations, did not go to the front of the line like she did, but I finished my food before she did. During boot camp, I was gaining weight. I was gaining muscle, I was gaining weight. The heaviest I've ever been in my life, and the heaviest I got was in boot camp. I got to 115. And then the crucible came.
How'd you
dropped
handle
to-
that?
Like weight wise or just the experience itself?
The experience itself.
I picked a lot of people like picked a drill instructor that they liked, and I picked one that I knew would push me to my limits. This wasn't necessarily my favorite drill instructor. She was known to be a hard ass. She actually got pulled from us for a little bit and came back. But I'm so glad that I did because it pushed me to limits I didn't know I had. To the point we were doing one of the obstacle courses, and we were getting the group that I was with, because it was me and 3 other girls. We were doing so well that they killed one of us because we were too far ahead of everybody else.
Okay.
So it was a mock thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was like 100. I want to say 115. It might have been 117. It was one of those two. And then we did the crucible. Came back. I was like 103.
Okay.
So I dropped significant weight, but I haven't gotten past 105 since then.
Yeah. No matter what I do, I can never get past like 160, 165 is usually the weight spot I sit at, depending on how lazy I am and what I'm actually eating. But no matter, like, I've been on a huge carnivore diet recently, and it's been more lean than anything else. And you definitely notice the difference, more energy and all that. But no matter what I do, I just can't gain weight. It's ridiculous.
Can't gain weight. See, I never had a weight issue, fluctuate or anything like that. It's just I gained it and I lost it. It's just one of those things. Don't try. When I was in shape, working all the time, I was always at 240, and never had to worry about nothing. I get taped every fucking time. Every fucking time. It was annoying, but I didn't have to worry about nothing. Then I got out. I lost about 20 pounds. Just because I wasn't myself. And then that's the nicest way to put it. That's the nicest way to fucking put it. I wasn't myself fully. And then, started eating right for a while and just gained some more back and was like, cool. Jumped on the scale. I think right before I moved down here, I was at 235. I was like, oh, it's not bad. It's not horrible. Because the time before that, when I went to the doctor, it was like 220, not 220, it was like 205. And I was like, that's weird. The man, the myth, the legend, the voice of the show, intro, Easy. What up, dude? Oh, Lord. Yeah, nice of you to put clothes on. Oh, that was so fucking cute. So, recap. Talking about life choices and where life's taking you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Easy. What is your biggest life choice you've ever made from childhood to now that you say is your biggest life choice you made?
My biggest is moving away from my family.
Okay.
I feel my family, they wish for the best, but hope they pray in your downfall for you to need them.
Okay. I get that.
So anything positive going on in your life, it's nothing good for them.
I get that.
So getting away from toxic people and actually like growing and becoming the adult that I am now. So
I get you.
mhm.
Okay. Who's your support system through that?
My support system.
Yeah. Yeah. Who is it? Who was the person that was there to support you and help you make up your mind if you had one?
Well, it used to be my mom. I would ask her about things all the time, even though she wasn't like a big like part of my life, because my grandma ended up raising me. So, but I still had that interaction with my mom that I can ask her a serious question and she's not gonna just sit there and lie to me. So, and then I got my best friend to this day, still my best friend. Even though we don't have the same schedule, we still make time to talk shit to each other every day.
It's good. So here we are. Fuck it. Let's do it. So, easy.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
Bring him in on this.
What do
That's how we
we talk
started.
about?
Yeah.
What are we talking about now? Life
That's what you
decisions,
want to talk
stuff
about?
like that.
Whatever
I
you want to
mean,
talk about.
I
Just a
asked
random
what their
question.
favorite dessert was, so
Whatever comes to mind. Like I was asking him earlier about the hiking thing, 'cause I've been going on hikes a lot recently for health. And then I asked him what kind of thing he was doing with it. Yeah, so
Drift, I don't listen to Kanye. Just letting you know that. So I don't know shit about what you're talking about.
Yeah, ain't nobody listen to Kanye. Maybe like 2000s Kanye I listen to, but now Kanye I won't listen to. But I don't know. We could talk about like what's the plans for the future. What do you got planned? Next year or two, stuff like that. If you have any goals in front of you that you want to accomplish this year or even within the next 5 years, stuff like that.
I'll go last.
you go last.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's kind of simple. I'll be moving soon, but within a year, I mean, from a year from now, I'll be getting married. So I think that's like the goal for now is, getting married in general. Moving into a new place, getting a new job, and getting married. So it's going to be a lot, but it's going to be good.
How old are you?
32.
Oh, okay. It's about that time to settle down.
does that make me the baby again?
It does make you the baby again.
Damn it. Ugh.
I say I'm 33, so.
Okay.
I turned 27 in 3 months.
All right.
So the question is future plans?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been privileged enough to be able to work on myself physically and mentally for the past 4 years. And so with now starting to stream and making connections within the next 2 years, saving up enough to move out of my parents' house and to start building a life that I'm satisfied with. It's just hard because I physically can't drive. I'm physically not allowed to at the moment, and I probably won't ever be. But living in the city where it would be best for me to live would probably kill me inside slowly. But I can't really live in the type of environment I would like to because I'd need to be able to go and buy groceries and I can't drive. So I got like 2 years to figure that shit out.
Well, there's a good thing because they have this thing called Walmart
Delivery?
deliveries.
Yeah. They also have, no matter where you are, like other grocery stores have that delivery option too.
And you don't have to even talk to the person. You can just have them leave it at your door and you can just grab it and come back inside from the light,
DoorDash doesn't work in Monterey, Mike.
Yeah, but you might not be there. That's the thing about it.
No, but
Don't know.
if I would move where I would want to, which would be closer to Cass, I don't know. We'll see. I'm working on it. Like I said, it's just starting. This was just something that recently was like a punch in the face. Like I need to get my shit together. I need to start being an adult, getting my finances in order, saving away, looking at places, figuring out my expenses, how they're going to work, budgeting. So I'm starting the process.
Okay. For me, my thing is always about progression.
Why'd you skip
and-
me? You said you're going
Oh,
last.
Look,
True.
man, you asked the question, so I thought, go ahead.
You
Go for
asked.
it. No.
You asked for some topics, and I gave you
Yeah.
some. Well, it seemed like Savage just wanted to go first, so I just let him go first.
Saying
likes
things
having
they
all the
can't hear
power.
you. So
But
Yeah.
all right, yeah. So my plan so far, we were planning on moving to Michigan here, where my family is from. I know, and I said something, staying away from my family and stuff, but that's the older generation of my family. But I do have
Mhm.
like my brother, my sister, my cousins that they're starting families. My brother's having a kid, his first kid, so it'd be nice to be around to have their uncle there as well. And plus, my kids are in Michigan as well, so
Okay.
we were gonna plan to move this summer, but the way life hits people, we probably gonna prolong it for another year or two just to be able to be really financially stable, because we made this plan last year to move, and like there's only so much you can do within like not even half of a year. So we're gonna try to do the best we can for the next 2 years. Try to find a plan that's gonna be able to help us save money, and also what can we do to move up in our where we work now. So
It's not a bad plan. You're being smart about it. You're taking into consideration how everything's working out and how it looks for you.
well, I was thinking about selling drugs, but I mean, I can't. They can't do that nowadays because
GTA style.
most of it's recreational now. So it's like,
Yeah. Once you get into the hard shit, the really hard shit,
but I know them people that stand at the corners be making some pretty good money all day, just standing there with a sign. I'm a little jealous sometimes.
Sound.
Did he get really loud for everybody?
He did.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on a second. I can fix that. Let's see here. Talk again, Savage. Savage.
I think he might be muted.
He's unmuted. Savage, can you hear us?
I think he's deafened.
Don't worry like
I
that.
think I think something's going on because I think he was testing something.
It's a great time to test stuff.
Yeah. Fuck it. We're not monetized yet. It's okay. So while he's doing that, I guess I'll answer the question. So for me, is to roll out a good product, work out all the fucking kinks, figure out, what's working for us, what's not working for us, and actually deliver something worth it.
What product are we talking? The podcast? Are we
The
talking
podcast.
Okay.
Like that's my main focus, the podcast. And no, I don't
No.
know about that. I don't know about that. But you want to see me attempt it, it's gonna cost you some money. But I need I'm trying to surround myself with people that are about progress, about moving forward, and that's all I'm gonna keep doing. Because I have many friends, but not all of them are willing to put forth a real effort in doing something that's going to put themselves out there because they don't want to be known, which is fine.
Yeah, I hate those kind of people,
Fucking $200? No, more than that. More than that shit.
Damn.
More than that. No.
I mean, I'll do it for $200.
There we go.
Right
See,
here.
look, Savage will do it for $200. There you go.
Hold on, what are we doing for $200?
Try and do a backflip.
I would have to get more open space than this. It's tight here.
I'm kind of big. I mean, it's
You
gonna
got
be
the
hard.
drone, dog. You got the drone. So have it float up there to do it. They record it. But I'm trying to build something. I'm trying to build a community that actually you can be your fucking selves on top of that.
Mhm.
That if you have a problem, just fucking talk it out. Don't do this fucking petty bullshit where you talk shit about people behind their fucking backs, stuff like that. I just want to talk it out, have the the adult conversations that everybody's too fucking scared
Talk
to have.
shit to their face. Let them know.
Yeah, that too. I'd rather you
Also-
talk shit to your face.
There's a difference between venting about something and talking shit that a lot of people misconstrued, and they think it's the same thing, and it is not always the same fucking thing. Get
I
it
agree.
through your guys' skull.
I 100% agree with that.
Also, we're not in high school.
I mean, they already said, high school never ends. It doesn't matter,
It does.
no, it does.
It
It,
doesn't.
fucking does.
It
fucking
does.
does.
ends. You become an adult. You need to start acting like an adult. This is not high school with a popularity contest on who has the biggest dick.
Damn.
I mean,
I really wish they could see you right now. So
That'd
you
be
see your
so
reactions.
funny. That is.
Oh, but no. I want to build something that's worth my fucking time on top of that. So we could just, get the fuck over all the petty bullshit, all the stupid drama, and just move forward. I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to fucking do well.
Yeah.
I want everybody to fucking make money. I
So-
want all of it.
so besides the podcast,
Mhm.
what else are you doing outside of that?
Doing a lot of mental health work, a whole lot, and it's doing me good. Like, I don't just do it for myself; I help other people too. Which fucking boss, savage, yourself,
I hate
Lana,
everybody.
fucking see it all the fucking time.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just always there to help somebody, no matter what. Yeah, we know. You tell me don't do that. I know.
It's
but
okay.
I still do it.
He ignores me as well. So
I don't ignore you. I take into consideration. I just
No,
make
you
the choice.
don't.
Yes, I do.
no, you don't. Yeah, he did. He just said ignoring me politely.
I did not say ignoring you politely. No, I take into consideration, I weigh it out, and then I do what I'm going to do.
Which is ignore it.
I didn't ignore it. I considered it. That's the difference.
You're ignoring the advice.
Did not say I'm
You
ignoring
could
the
always
goddamn
you
advice.
could give advice, but that doesn't mean they have to take it.
Exactly.
You can bring the horse to the water, but you can't force the horse to drink the water, essentially.
You can open up the door to the closet, but doesn't mean that he's gonna come out.
You're damn fucking right.
Death, what you mean sometimes? You always ignoring my advice. Just like you always blaming me for everything.
Yeah, I don't get. Why do you? I got a question right now. Why do you actually blame her for everything? Let's get that out
I would
there.
like to know as well.
Can we pull that chat up there if it pops up?
Also, Drift, I like turtles and I have a turtle tattoo.
Turtles are nice.
Yeah, sometimes you ignore her advice, but you do blame her a lot for a lot of stuff. So why do you blame her? Let's talk about that.
I'm saying maybe give better advice, yeah.
Who hurt you? They can't hear you, so I don't know why you're even commenting.
We don't talk about Bruno. That has nothing to do with the fact of you blaming me for everything. That is not a we don't talk about Bruno's situation, and you know that.
And I'm the one who asked it, so that don't
Tell
work
me
with me.
again. Tell me again how we be lovers and friends.
Let's keep it moving before I go
Where's
down a
the
rabbit hole.
umbrella hat?
What do you say? You're right. You drag him out of the doesn't bother him. That's
Drift
nice.
ask if we could do one stream where everyone wears an umbrella hat.
Why
Umbrella
the fuck
hat.
would I wear an umbrella hat?
I don't know, but I kind of like it.
Two, we all wear heads. Most of us wear headsets, so we're just,
I gotta look up what that is because I never actually seen an umbrella hat.
you really never seen an umbrella hat?
Yep, never seen it. So I gotta look it up.
You
And I'm
got,
probably gonna be
he over here, easy walk, rocking that hat.
Well, like the Luffy has different.
Yeah.
That's different. All right. Okay, so it's just an umbrella. It's just an umbrella, but without the handle on your head.
Yeah,
It's kind of
Yeah,
like like something the Japanese would use.
it's one of those things that I never had an inkling to wear.
To be fair, I never really used an umbrella, so
All right, you're pulling up. Okay, I can't blame anyone else because I don't have any other friends, and she has dealt with all my crap and vice versa.
Yeah, but I don't blame you for my crap.
Exactly. He does not blame you for her crap at all.
That's because it's kind of weird like that. That's
Fabled, yeah, that's my roommate's feet. See?
Be sitting like
See
that.
this?
them socks look a little crusty. It's like he's been wearing those for a couple days.
No, I don't know. I don't judge him. It's his business. So, Yeah.
Feet pics.
But you won't grab his big toe.
Kill you.
And it's honestly really funny because with how it's set up, I don't see it, and it wasn't until I looked over at
The stream, you
the
see it?
yeah, until I looked at Twitch that I actually saw it. I was like, oh, there are feet.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see it either until I looked over there. I was like, what's she talking about? Oh, there it is. Homie takes screenshot of feet for Feet Finder.
Jesus.
Look, the feet pics are they're
Just
a thing.
zoom in on it.
Zoom in on it. That's-
Okay. So let me see. Did your decision to make those big choices, did they actually make I can see you, but did they actually make your relationship stronger, or they put a strain on it? You know, for easy, it's your family. Did it make the relationship like grow a little bit better for you when you left? Or did it, you know, make it worse
With my family, or
with your family?
so if I'm not there, I can't be blamed for stuff that happens. So they don't really talk to me unless I engage in conversation first.
Okay.
They're not someone that, like, for me, like I'm used to being the person that picks up the phone and, hey, what are you doing? How's everything going? What do you got planned? Stuff like that. My brother, I literally wrote him happy birthday. He did not write me back until a week later saying, oh, thanks.
Okay. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Mm.
My sister, she only tries to get a hold of me when it's convenient for her. And she's a Jehovah's Witness, so kind of don't really want to have conversations with her sometimes.
I can get that.
Figuring, you know, how she grew up and how I know how she grew up, for her to turn out to be a Jehovah's Witness is beyond, you know, it's like she was like forced into it but I don't believe in her beliefs of, you know, they don't celebrate birthdays, holidays, stuff like that. I was like, you had that shit. Why are you trying to keep your kids from that?
Yeah, I get that.
I don't touch it. You know, I don't want to interrupt what she's doing with her family and stuff like that. So
I get you. Yeah. So Savage.
Yes, sir.
Now we got the audio issues fixed.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
So you're getting ready to make your big move.
Mm-hmm.
How do you predict everything's going to go for you? Like, because, you know, you've been where you've been for like most of your life, everything like that. So how do you think that's going to go with the relationships? How's it going to do? Do you think it's going to persevere? Do you think it's going to have to be a little strained, or what?
With the main family, it's still going to be good. A lot of the people in my life that I used to hang out with aren't really there anymore. They've kind of grown, did their own thing. They have their own families, their own stuff. Cousins, older friends, such like that. You know, even like my closest friends, I don't really hang out with that much anymore. So when it comes to that, I don't really see it changing too much. I know with my like close family, it'll be different for sure, and it'll take some adjusting, considering I'll be at such a distance. But I know that they will still love me and love to obviously, talk when I can, hang out and come visit when I can. It'll still be the same pretty much. But I think overall, yeah, it still should be good. It's not going to change much. I noticed that with my dad especially. He's been spending more time with me, and it's nice, but I know it's just because he wants to, take as much time as he can with me before I move. Because obviously then it won't be as much. I won't be seeing him every Sunday like I usually do. Because on the weekends I visit him every Sunday at night. We go, I go to his house, we have dinner, we watch a TV, movie, whatever. So it'll be adjustment for sure, but I think it'll be good still.
I get that. And that's good. I think it's great that your dad's trying to spend as much time as he can with you while he still has the opportunity to.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
something that I wish I would have had that opportunity. But it's good that it's happening for you.
You want to spend time with his dad?
No. No, I don't.
He's like, hello, here's my friend Raider.
I mean, your dad is awesome, Zane. I think we'd all want to spend time with him.
I agree.
Well,
my
true.
dad literally just looks
that's a
like
privilege.
My dad literally just looks like me, but like tanner and more, I guess, more Native American than me, but literally same hairstyle, kind of everything, pretty much the same.
Yeah.
My dad looks black and shorter than me. He's like full-blooded Puerto Rican. That's why I got the black pass.
We're doing English today, but how do you think it's going to turn out for you whenever you do make your move to?
I honestly don't know, because it could go one of two ways. It could go well, and I still have my support system and I still keep pushing forward, or I could end up regressing.
Yeah.
I think that's the scariest part, is because I do have a lot of mental health stuff that I deal with on a daily basis, and my support system is right here. It is in this house with me, and if I need it, it's right within reach. If it's not there, it's harder. And I think that's the biggest thing and the scariest thing for me is doing this, is knowing that I still have it, but it's going to be farther away from me. And that I need to grow with that. Because I'm not necessarily losing my support system, it's just changing. And I need to figure out how it's going to change.
I get that. I get that. For me, I'm going to lose a lot of friends, or people that I thought were friends.
I'm not your friend.
That's fine.
Damn.
You're an associate. For me, dude. At least you know your lane. No, but EJ, I consider you a friend.
One-sided.
That's fine.
No.
That's fine. You're honest. You're straight up to the point. You don't bullshit me. You don't tell me what I like to hear. You straight up.
Do that.
So a lot of people like doing that shit, man. A lot of fucking people. But yeah, I'm gonna lose a lot of people that were there for me whenever I was my lowest, because they don't want to change or get better, or
They want to see you at your highest. They love supporting you at your lowest, because then they feel like they can use you. But when you're at your highest, they feel like they have nothing to offer you, because
I guess
it makes them feel important.
Yeah.
When somebody's at their low, it makes them feel important, and it gives them a sense of power as well. So then when you're not at your lowest and you're doing well, people are like, oh, they lose that power and control and importance.
Yeah. I get that. But yeah, it's going to be...
Smoke my cigarette.
Yeah, you're good, man. You can do that on stream.
Yeah, it's more better if I don't.
Okay. You're good. But yeah. I feel like I'm going to lose a lot of people, but I know it's for the best, because for me, it's all in the word of progress. It's all in that line that I need to get better. I need to do better for myself.
So is that like you cutting ties with them in general, or why do you think you're going to lose them?
Because I know that we're going to come to an impasse.
Okay.
And
you're not ready for change.
That is true.
That's a good reason. Yeah. Sometimes if you, like I said, you come to an impasse and you gotta go a different path than they're going, you wish them the best of luck and you move on.
Yeah, because I'm pushing myself to get out of my comfort zone a lot, and they're staying where they are.
Just like Tupac said, you got to make a change.
It's true.
That's very true. But yeah. Now it's time in the chat where you have random questions. Doesn't matter what they do. They don't have to do with the topic. It can be anything. Fucking put them in there. We'll answer. You want all of us, one of us to answer, anything like that? Drift, this is your moment to ask all the random questions you really have.
Please do. I love those.
I'll answer all questions.
You answer all questions?
I'll answer all of them.
Boss, if you have random questions for us, just ask us, and we'll elaborate them, and then Well, just go ahead. Slay.
You can't say you can't ask mine
What do
and
you mean
then
you
not
can't
ask.
ask
2
yours?
inches hangs to the left.
I know. No,
You're welcome.
seriously. Death. Anything, man. Just ask. I'm an open book. Most of us up here, honestly, will answer damn near anything.
Yeah. I mean, he can't really ask me a question because we've been through that. So
Yeah.
Age, sex, location. I'm a male, 33, in Kentucky.
There you go. Good old
Hell
Kentucky.
yeah. Kentucky.
Well, borderline Kentucky, Tennessee.
Now, what's the land like in Kentucky? Is it more like more green or desert?
More green than there is desert. A lot of
Really
farm,
seen-
a lot of farm
What,
areas,
Okay.
All right.
a lot of trees. I mean, once you're into like, you enter a city, you're like, you could literally pass in and out of it quick, and you'll be in the fucking woods
Yeah.
again. So I mean,
Okay.
Let's see here. Got a question. Oh, you already got it. Damn. What path do you think you would be on without your big decision earlier? So, is that for everybody?
a path
Just
of self
one person?
hatred towards others.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Well, if I would have stayed, I probably would have been 30 some years old living with my grandmother still that just passed away 2 years ago. So I probably wouldn't have got far. You know, I probably wouldn't have kids right now. I probably wouldn't have traveled places I've been if I haven't made a decision to leave home. So, because I pretty much traveled all across the states and stuff like that. Never been in no military, but I felt like, you know, as much as I moved around, I might as well have been.
That's the funny thing about that. A lot of people in the military, some of them get stuck in one duty station, so they don't get to go anywhere. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I guess I'll go next. If I wouldn't have joined the military, I would have went to college to play football, and I don't know how that would have ended up, especially after discovering, like, you know, my own mental health issues, everything like that. I'd probably be way worse off than I am now, honestly, because I built a good support system for myself.
And you handled the herpes well, so I'm glad that
What
you got that
motherfucking
done.
herpes are you fucking talking about?
Exactly. We don't talk about it all the time.
I did not have. I've never had that.
And
I've
it's
never
okay, Raider. We
contracted
know
that.
it's
No.
a struggle every day,
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
with spotting, but you cover it up well.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh boy.
So for the one about what path I would have done, that's actually kind of a two-part for me, because going into the military itself was a big decision, but switching from Air Force to Marines was also another one. If I had gone Air Force, I wouldn't know any of you. I never would have met any of you. I never would have met Terry, which is how I'm getting to know all of you. So my life would be completely different than it is now.
I think you would have been a librarian.
Actually,
Sure already is.
well, yeah, I already am. Actually, before I was looking at going into the military, I was looking at qualifications to be an au pair, to go and do that, because I used to babysit kids from my mom's church. So
Okay,
that's
so-
what I was going to do.
So,
Okay.
for everybody that doesn't know what that is,
As a nanny.
there you go.
It's just a fancy word for a nanny.
There we go. Yeah, but 99% of people aren't going to look it up. So,
No,
let's be
they're not.
honest. That's why we try to educate a little bit.
Usually, you know, they'll be able to. It's good to define it, but people could probably decipher what it means through the context of the sentencing.
You put a
That's
lot of
fine.
faith. You put a lot of faith in people. You put a lot of faith in people.
I mean, that's how I perceive things, you know, when I don't understand a certain word, I just take the context of the sentence and then I kind of fill in that blank of the definition and kind of perceive what it should mean.
That's what I do.
And then, no, I didn't answer it, but I guess if I didn't go to college, because even though I didn't finish college, it's still a good experience to have. I don't know where my life would be, because one thing led to another, and that's where how I got my first job, and then after that, it kind of just like rolled into one thing after another. Through that one job, I met new people, and then through those people, I got a different like job, and then through that, I got a better car, and then so who knows what life would have been like, in general. I could be a completely different person too, different personality, different lifestyle, whatever. You never really know what that route would take you down and what it would do to you and how you would react to it. It's an interesting concept to think about because it's like, is there an alternate you out there in the multiverse, and what their life is like?
It's that what if factor.
Yeah.
I don't live in that what if fucking factor.
No, I
can't
don't
do it.
either.
I can't do it. That's too much of a too many rabbit holes that leads down.
Exactly. There's too many questions that you're not
Yeah.
gonna get an answer for, so it's no point of even really looking into it.
Okay.
I mean, before I found my wife, I've traveled down that rabbit hole of like,
Yeah.
certain people I didn't interact with. Went back and said, we'll see if I could kindle something up here that I wasn't able to do when I was younger or some shit like that. Some of it worked out in in good ways, and some just stayed the same. So I mean,
all right. Next question, Death Slayer. What is one of the worst decisions that you made in your life, and how has it changed you and made you grow as an individual? To everyone. Jesus fucking Christ, you had to ask something like that, didn't you?
I'm gonna go first,
go
and I'm
ahead.
gonna pass this.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, I know. You're good. So for me, the worst decision, I think it was. Fuck, I gotta think.
Coming out of the closet in time.
That's nothing to do with that. I'm not gay.
Yeah, we know.
Not yet.
What the fuck?
Not yet.
Does everybody have so low expectations of me to ever find somebody for myself?
Why does it have to be a low expectations to be gay? I mean,
I'm just saying.
2025.
I'm not. Yeah, if I was, I'd tell you. But I don't know. I don't know right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna message him tomorrow morning. So, you come up with an answer yet?
It is an interesting thing because it's like, that what you would perceive as your worst decision in life, if there's multiple, and how it might make you grow as an individual. Because there's decisions that people might see as their worst decision, and you might look at it as a mundane thing. But it's different for every person, so it could change them all like significantly. And it might come to others easier than some people as well. Like you right now can't really answer it, even though you probably have multiple answers for that.
Yeah, I have a shit ton of answers that can go with that right now. It's just like I can't pinpoint one. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. So probably for me, it'd probably be one, drinking, heavily drinking, because it's gotten me in some shit.
Trouble?
It's got me in some shit. Made some mistakes, did some stupid shit. Made some choices that I normally would never make. So yeah, I'd say drinking's one. And not fact checking my friends when they told me, serious statements.
Okay.
That would be the other one. I don't blindly believe anybody anymore. I go through and I need proof, I need receipts, I need, everything.
That's how I go through.
That's why everything I say is a lie.
This is a hard question to answer. You want to go ahead, Easy? I don't know if you had one lined up.
Man,
Damn.
I got a few. All right, so I mean, a fucking lot of worse decisions adding, random people off the internet on Snapchat. Signing up on OnlyFans, one of the worst decisions. I found out that no one wants to see me play Call of Duty butt ass naked. I mean, when you can use your stick on the stick to move around. I mean, I figured someone would want to see it, but I guess not.
There's a third joystick involved, and it wasn't on the controller.
Yeah. Oh, there's a market for everything, okay, and I guess just not that one that week. I've
Did you
met.
promote it at least before you did that, or did you just full send it?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta full send some things, sending dick pics out. Mistaking a lot of those.
You were one of those.
Hey, you gotta show off the product,
God damn it.
But I'm older now. I don't make those mistakes anymore that I know of. I mean, I've dated.
You've grown from it.
I've dated a lot of girls over like the internet and stuff like that. Like I traveled to them and stuff like that. I went down to like Ohio for a girl one time. I got stuck there for a week. When I finally got back, I found out she was married. Like, I mean, yeah.
Damn.
There was a girl in Oklahoma. She was crazy.
So, regretting those decisions. Okay.
Dated a girl in Jersey. She didn't know what she wanted. And I was pretty faithful for that one, but I don't know.
Okay.
And then the final one is my wife. That was the last person I dated over the internet.
Okay.
No, we're married. I'm stuck here.
Send help. Same thing for me, me and
send help.
Me and boss lady. We've been dating online.
Me and my wife been together for 4 years. I mean, me being the man who I was, I mean, eventually I was able to settle down with somebody. So I mean, regret it sometimes, but at the end of the day, I mean, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for me making the mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess, yeah, for me, it's changed me in a good way, but not dealing with bullies when I had the chance to when I was younger. And it wasn't so much that I was scared of them, it was just more me scared of myself, of like what I would actually do to them. Like that line you don't want to cross over, beat them to the bloody pulp and leave them mangled on the floor or something like that. There's
get your ass ended up in
do what
jail
I do. Hit them once and they're knocked out.
Yeah, well, that's
and shatter your whole hand and stuff.
For me, it's like I was the type of person that was either I'm calm and collected, and if I snap, then it's something you don't want to be around. The only time you really see like my aggressive side is if like I'm playing like competitive like FPS games. Other than that, you don't really hear my like actual aggressive side. Because I have very high tolerance for people. Like I can deal with a lot of bullshit, and it takes me a lot to like actually snap on someone. But I've snapped on. There's actually someone in middle school, twice. The first time he was harassing me as we're walking to class, and I don't know what it was that day. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I looked at him. I said, "If you don't fuck off, I'm gonna grind your skull across this hallway wall." And he looked at me like lost because I never said anything like that. But it made him stop for at least a little bit. And then like a month later, he punched me, so I punched him in the face. And then I walked away after that because I was about to beat him. But I just walked away, punched the door instead. And the teacher looked at me and was like, "Hey, I'm kind of proud of you because you held back. You didn't continue. You hit him after he hit you. So obviously you still got suspended because it's always, no matter who started the fight, both people that are participants get, suspended or whatever, and had that 1 day thing or whatever."
I end fights.
My best friend's dad told me the best advice ever. He said, the first punch is the biggest surprise.
Oh yeah.
If it comes down to it, and there's no getting away from it, just might as well throw the first fucking punch. Might as well do it. Nowadays everybody's about being more tolerable, everything like that. But that advice still keeps me in the right mindset when I need to be.
Yeah, I just like to see what someone else could do first. Like
Yeah,
I want
kinda-
if you can hurt me, then yeah, I'll swing back at you. But if you're swinging at me and you're missing, I'm like, there ain't no point in me fighting you.
Yeah, for me, it was just more of like to stand up to people when they are harassing you. No one should just stand there and take it. It's one thing to ignore small things, the whole sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. I believe in that wholeheartedly. You can say as much shit you want, and usually I'm just going to shrug it off. I don't give two shits.
Yeah,
But the moment you start actually threatening me,
some
like you're
words
gonna
do
do
hurt
something.
people sometimes, though.
They
They
do,
don't have
and I understand that. But
because
at the end of the day, for me personally, words don't bother me. When you allow a word to offend you or hurt your feelings, you're giving them power. You're giving them they're giving in control over you, because now they know that word is going to offend you. It's going to hurt you.
but not everybody has that mindset.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Before you do that one, you did miss Death earlier had said, what is a hobby?
Mm,
I know, but then after that he said, hold on, hit it too early.
Well,
Yeah.
dumbass.
So I'm pretty sure you just changed his question.
Rude.
If you could travel anywhere, where would you go? I've answered this before.
We
Yeah,
talked
we
about
answered
this
this. We talked about
last
this.
time.
Yeah, we talked
This
about this
last
last
week.
time. I don't think she's seen
Yeah.
that episode. Yeah. So we're gonna pass that one right now.
Well, I don't know. Was it specifically like where would we go, or did we talk about like what period of time we would visit?
I think it was both. It
It was
was
both.
like,
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
I remember like time period we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned like Scotland, and then like time traveling would be cool to witness like certain points in history, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have too long a list anyway.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Before
Hey,
I
you're-
was
you're all
married,
good. I know
I
you
would
want
have
that.
went to Japan.
Japan is a good time.
Japan
Japan's a
looks
fucking
nice.
great
But
time,
now
bro.
Mhm.
Just
that's
let
what,
you know that.
that's what I said. Before I was married, I would go to Japan.
Some nice
Even-
sake.
Even if you are married, man, it's still a fucking great time. It is.
Not the stuff that I wanted to do while I was there. Like I
Oh.
said, I've grown from that person that I was.
Somebody wanted to visit the massage parlors. Oh, but yeah. What's your take on today's youth right now?
Bunch of pussies.
Yeah, I was gonna say it in a nicer tone, I guess, but he hit the nail on the head right there. I mean, today people are too coddled, and they
Weak
well, yeah,
ass,
the-
gentle parenting.
Fight them all.
parenting. The parenting is definitely an issue today's top youth.
Too gentle.
Yeah,
Way too gentle. Not
they-
saying
they-
no to a kid.
yeah, they allow them to get what they want. They cater to every little whim they want.
Tantrum and wham.
They don't really teach them, like, if you behave and you get rewarded for doing good things, you don't just get rewarded for whenever you cry. Structure, that's a good word for it too, but I think it's also a mental state of mind. It also does suck because parents today are not around as much as they used to be as well. They're working all the time.
I feel like in today's society, a lot of kids are sheltered because of all the electronics and video games and iPads and stuff like that, or any like social stuff. It's all through like social media and stuff. So there's not a whole lot of, oh, I wonder what my friend's up to. Let me go over there instead of, oh, I'm just gonna message him.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last week.
So,
too,
I
because
mean-
it's not building the friendships isn't the same anymore. It's now it's leaning more toward like technology, everything like that. It makes it so simpler. It makes it easy to keep track of people. You don't get to know who's actually going to be there for you because they don't have to make much effort anymore.
Yeah,
Especially nowadays, you can put let's say like a fake persona of yourself online, and people are gonna believe, oh yeah, that's what he's up to. Oh man, he's doing
Yeah.
great, stuff like that. I can put fucking random ass shit online. People start messaging me, oh, when'd you do that? Or how'd you get that? And blah 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trap. I appreciate it, dude.
I was like, if you know me, if you actually knew me, you knew those would be all lies. So
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
this
exactly.
quote that I like.
Mhm.
I can't remember where I heard it from. I looked it up so I get the whole quote right, but it goes, "Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak
Very
men.
weak man.
Weak
Yep.
men create hard times."
Yep.
And
That's
I
true.
think that that has a lot of truth to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it does. It's a good
Does.
quote.
It really does. You know, we can't. And the bad thing is, no matter what each of us individually do, it's not going to change the whole world on that standpoint. How it all works for how people are raised or how they're acting and giving them structure. So it's one of those things that no matter what we do to fix it
Yeah.
ourselves, and what we can control, it doesn't make a difference, and that's what sucks.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that go into it. Even like things like when a parent's trying to teach them kind of like to grow up a little bit, as you get older. To like see what's right and what's wrong in the world and how you can be like as a kid, yeah, it's okay to be silly when you're like really young. But as you grow older, you kind of have to outgrow that silliness because if you don't, the world's gonna be a harsh place to live in. And a good example of that is Joe Rogan. He was talking about how one of his daughters, when she was really young, she believed she was a wolf. Cool. Yeah, you're a little kid, you're playing as a wolf, cool. But as she kept growing into her teenage years, she still believed the same thing. So he said, you know what? All right, fine, we're going to do this. We're going to take you to the woods. So for one night, I'm going to leave you in the woods by yourself as a wolf. And she didn't last the whole night. He's like, I'm going to be over somewhere. Just call me. I'll come pick you up. She lasted for like 4 hours in the woods by herself, like 3 a.m. She called him up. Hey, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm not really a wolf. And she learned from her mistake. It was a lesson to be taught, but it needed to be taught so that way she can grow out of that phase and become an actual more mature person.
I get that. I feel like there should be certain steps with that because I'm pretty sure he tried other things before that.
Probably, yeah.
But that's just what stuck out because let's be honest, that's how most people are. They see the extreme answer of things and they say, "Oh, you went too far." But to me, I think somebody that's well educated like that, he tried several different things before that, and then just made it to where he made it to a line that she had to cross.
Did you guys hear about the mom that tried suing a vet office because they wouldn't treat her son who believed he was a cat? And she treated him like a cat. And so, yeah, there was a mom who brought her son to a vet office for animals.
I'm looking this up right now.
Said that her son was a cat and wanted the vet to treat them. The vet said no, he cannot because this is a human.
Yeah.
And I believe the mom tried suing the vet office.
That's the thing with, I think that's not even just like kids, it's also like a lot of the adults today have a different mindset and they want to just give the kid whatever they want. So like that, like a cat, identifying as a cat or whatever, and it's like it's getting a little ridiculous, It's like, you're not a cat. We can show you what a cat is. You're not a cat.
Meow.
This is fucking crazy. Fucking really?
Yeah.
No,
it's a real thing.
There's a few things out there that I've seen that are just wild. There's that. There's other things that you just look at as very bizarre, even like adults. Like now it's a very sexualized thing too. Like they'll have the collar thing, and we talked about the collar thing before, but it'd be more of like a leash, I guess, be more to say, or it's like this woman, she would be on a leash and her, I don't know if it's her boyfriend or if it's her husband or whatever, is at the park and she's pretending to be a cat. And it's a very sexualized thing. So now it's just like, now you're going way too far beyond the norm, but it's also kind of inappropriate because you're in a public place with like children around, and it's just it's bizarre.
I know y'all can't hear, but boss has been waiting on him to finish that statement to see where he was going. Yeah, I get it. It's being sexualized too. Collars and the leashes aren't, I don't think, concerning. But again, we've already talked about this before. Touched a little bit on it. There's more to that will be coming up sooner or later.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
Eventually.
But,
it's more of like the aspect of pretending to be an animal that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
put a
get that.
muzzle on them.
We talked about this the one time. I don't remember which podcast, but about maybe it wasn't. It might have been in Discord. But there was a video of a guy that got pulled over. And I love this video because I think the cops' responses are amazing. The guy driving the car claimed to be a cat.
Yeah.
He straight up was like, "I'm a cat. I don't have a driver's license." If you haven't seen that video, you should look it up. I think it is amazing, and I want to meet that cop. I want to get a picture with him.
The thing is, though, I think that was a skit, if anything, because it seemed way too like funny
choreographed
and choreographed.
I
Yeah,
like
he basically said to the guy that was like, "Well, if you're a cat and he's your owner, I need to take you down to the vet to get your to get neutered or whatever." And it was just it was so funny.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, Silver. But yeah. Let's go wild card questions. Don't look at me like that. Yeah, let's think about the most obscene thing and figure out why they do it. Easy. I know you got one off the top of your head because you're always you. Go ahead.
What was the question?
God damn it! Don't pay attention to shit. I know. I'm bad about it too. Let's talk about some things that we've seen that we don't understand or why.
What I've seen,
obscene, like bizarre, things that are bizarre to you that you just don't understand, like you can't grasp, like why things, either that situation's happening or.
We are not touching that right now. No, we're not touching that.
So I have this coworker, right?
Okay.
And she lives with her parents, 36 years old. Mm-hmm. And mind you, there's not a whole lot wrong with her parents or anything like that. But she claims that she has to be the one to take care of them, and she has all this money and stuff, but yet she works at Walmart, and she owns a farm and all this other shit, or land, and she like turned down a job to work with Samsung or some shit, and she was gonna make like $500,000 a year or some shit. And I said, so why don't you do that then? And she's like, well, because if I just up and leave my parents, I'll be shunned from my family or something like that, like dishonored my family and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna be making $500,000 a year. She's like, yeah, but so even if I did that, I would lose my parents' farm and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, but you're making $500,000 a year. You can buy a new farm. Well, this has been passed down to my family for years. I was like, you're just coming up with excuses on why you can't be an adult. And I was like,
bizarre to you.
I was like, because you have other family members that could take care of you have an older brother, you have, uncles and stuff like that could, you say that they're the ones making you do this, because if you don't, you'll be taken out of the will and stuff. But what you need in that will if you're going to be making $500,000 a year?
Yeah,
I was like,
I can get it,
and I
can get it from the family aspect of it, but from every other aspect of it, especially if there's other members of the family that can still do what she's doing, she could actually talk to them and figure out, how do you how do you feel about doing this? And I'll compensate you since she's gonna be making so much.
Or even the fact
And
that she's
then
like, oh, I can't put my family in a home because I promised my family I'll never do that. I was like,
hey, Rico,
and I'm like, why? I was like, they can take care of any of their needs. Well, they can't. They don't understand stuff. I'm like, they got translators. Anything you need, they can provide. Like it's like one thing after another, and then on top of that, then she'll say like, I work 4 or 5 different jobs and stuff like that. My other jobs I can just take off whenever I want. I was like, but you're here 5 days out of the
Sounds like a
week.
bunch of excuses. Yeah.
I was like, if you were, if you have all these jobs and you're making all this money, what the hell are you doing here? Like, it just seems like, and then she wants to talk about like, oh man, I just want to ride my motorcycle and blah, blah, blah. I hate that there's a law for me to wear a helmet. And like, I was like, and then she'll talk about guys that she thinks that are head over heels for her. But look, I'm gonna be honest with you. On a scale, she's not top tier material, okay? I don't think guys are chasing her around. She thinks everyone's looking at her. No one cares. Everyone at work like makes fun of her for all the shit that she says. Like if you're having say you had a bad day, right? And you start telling her about that bad day, she's that person's like, well, you know what I had to do? I ended up doing this, and this. And oh my God, it's not even close. I mean, way more than what happened to you.
she's a pick-me girl.
Exactly.
Okay. So it seems like she's just making excuses in her life. That's interesting though.
It's annoying.
It seems like she's not ready to let fucking go either.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, none of that makes sense to me. I was like, even if my family, I was like, none of my family even, are even attempting to try to help them. I was like, why the fuck should I? I was like, it's not my job to make sure that I take care of my family the rest of my life.
I mean, I get it, but
if it comes to that point,
I mean, I comprehend it. Let me say that I comprehend it. I don't really get it.
Right, like like when you're a kid, your parents raise you to become an adult, not to
that's the way it's supposed to work. That's the way
for
it's
you to
supposed
move on to start your own family and somewhat and do the same thing and move forward. If you're constantly with your parents, not saying it's a bad thing, but I mean, you're holding yourself.
It limits you though.
Yeah, it limits what you're trying to do with yourself in your own life.
Okay.
I was like, for Lana's thing, she's young still, so.
Well,
but this girl's like 10, 12 years older than you, going through military stuff like that already. Like you have plenty of opportunity to become a person, but instead you decide to limit yourself because of a family obligation that you decided that you think you had to do.
Okay. All right, Raiders. Since you asked the question, what were you gonna say?
My thing is gonna hit a lot of people in the fields right now. Not here with us.
Okay.
But
I'm getting prepped.
Why do married people try to go after someone else before they resolve their relationship?
There's a lot that probably goes into it, but I think it's even before this, but I think social media is a big thing about that because you can get instant gratification from other people the moment someone else that your significant other drops you, or not even just drops you, but like the moment they don't give you that gratification, for a day or whatever, you can instantly go to Facebook, Discord, whatever, and then find someone else who's like, oh, you're amazing, you're beautiful, etc. And I think that has a huge aspect of it.
A lot of the times, it's a lot of what Savage had said. They are very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
They get like a thrill and power from trying to either cheat on their marriage with someone else and go outside of the marriage, or try to be the person that can take away that person from the marriage.
Yep.
And it's to them it's intoxicating. It's like a drug to them.
Yeah. It sounds like me.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you.
I kind of had like the same thought though. Like, I always thought it's weird to do that. Like personally, if I'm in a relationship and I know it's not working out with a significant other, I'm either gonna make it work, and if it doesn't, then I'm gonna break up with that person and move on. I'm not gonna torture that person and put them through, both you and the other person with drama and cheating and all that stuff, sneaking around, doing all that stupid shit. Not worth the time, not worth anyone's time, really. But that's just my mindset on it.
Or get them included with it. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta open.
I don't think that I don't think you're on the
No.
on a Pornhub tab there.
Sometimes you gotta open up the relationship and be like, "Hey, you trying to
The arm cross, yeah.
So
trying to be a part of this?"
what if they're like not about opening up the relationship then?
Well, then you find compromise. That's how a relationship goes. I mean, if
Compromise? I don't like that word for relationship.
Well,
it's not about compromise. It means giving up something. That means
not
you're
giving-
choosing to give up something you want to do
See,
or something
that's
that you
the thing.
need to do.
You think compromise is a negative thing. Compromising means you're not really giving up something. It's more of setting a standard to it, I guess. Like, so if I'm like, if I say, I want to do this, certain acts and she doesn't want to do that. But, if I say, hey, let's open up the relationship to that, then it's like, okay, how about I do those things and we don't open up the relationship? So now it's like, instead of, me doing it with somebody else, I'm doing it with my significant other because I, pretty much talked her into it.
Hold on a second. Go ahead, Lana. Go ahead. Tell me what you
Compromise.
I think it depends on people's version of a compromise. Because for me, compromise is not necessarily giving something up. It is meeting with somebody in the middle,
Yeah.
having a conversation, and seeing how we can meet in the middle. Like, is it too big of a thing that I have to give something up, or is there something that we can work out between the two of us that is satisfactory to both of us?
Like, say if you're not, like, someone's not as sexually active as you, but they can get to that point if you do certain things to get them to that point. You know what I mean? So, like, getting them into that mood is the problem, right? Because they have so much stress on their mind and stuff like that, like house duties, bills, work, stuff like that. Doesn't really keep a woman wanting to be in that sexual, in that phase because, all the stuff that's weighing down on them, thinking that, but if you figure out some stuff that, take some of that away from their plate, give them some kind of relief, taking some of the, then, meet in the middle.
So, all right.
It depends on the person.
We talked about this before. So, it's on the What Tickles Your Fancy episode. Why do you have to go through that where it sounds like more manipulation than anything instead of just having the conversation straight out?
Well, the conversation, that's where you compromise at. It's the conversation.
Just saying, the way you depicted that sounded more like, how do I say this?
So you bring up what you feel, like you said, talk it out. You talk out what you feel is wrong with our relationship, what we can build in our relationship, and how we get there. Now, it takes two people to work on things. You can't just have one person working on it. And
yeah, it takes two to tango.
It's like me and my wife have our ups and downs, every now and again. But we never have a problem talking to each other about it. Some might be heated more than the other. Take a little bit of time, to be able to phrase what they want to say without, sounding angry or yelling. But at the end of the day, we got to be able to communicate because that's the only way you're going to make your relationship strong. And you can't communicate with somebody that you can't trust or something like that.
Okay. Lana?
Yes.
Throw out a question.
Throw out a question. God,
Yeah.
Man.
I know. Remember, it's your fucking podcast.
It is not my podcast. Yeah,
It's your fault.
it's not my fault.
Whatever. Whatever.
Question. I'm gonna just throw this out because I've been thinking it since Mike had posted it. What is your favorite hobby that is not gaming?
Mine's easy. Writing.
Mm.
Being an asshole.
Okay,
Didn't
real
know that was
hobby.
a hobby.
Real hobby.
I didn't know that was a hobby either.
Oh
I don't think
yeah,
it counts
it
as a real
is.
hobby. I don't think it counts as a real hobby.
Why? I mean, I had to work for it. So I mean, all right, yeah, it does come naturally. Basketball.
Well, okay.
Good.
I think my hobbies kind of change over time, which I like. But right now, it's hiking. I like the sun on my. I like the sun on my skin. I like the feeling of because when I go on hikes, I go at like a power walk pace. So after I'm done, after the 5 miles, I can feel the muscle tensions and all that. So I like that feeling of like getting like an actual kind of workout, and then the sun on my skin feels nice. I like that feeling. So
You're looking kind of white to be having
I am. I'm very white.
getting some sunlight there.
I think what you're trying to say, you need a little bit more sun.
Not just
Even out that
not peeking your
complexion.
head out the window and be like, oh hey,
It's funny because my arm gets tanned a lot because I'm a truck driver. So like my arm sits on like the window, and the whole arm would be tanned, and then the rest of me is just completely white.
well, it still looks white. It looks like Harry mostly.
All right, y'all. I really appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. Like always, it's a pleasure. Thursday, we're going to be doing another podcast, and we're going to be welcoming a new guest. Yes. So it'll be a fun time.
It's
Getting
me.
somebody new in. No, not
Oh.
you. New dynamic and getting everybody in here to see how he warms up and see if he becomes, a regular member or not. So yeah, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate
Oh.
y'all. I forgot how to say your fucking name in the chat. Sorry. But Josh, yeah, that name. Josh, thanks for stopping by, dude. I appreciate it. You didn't have to.
But he just got here.
I know. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to raid out because I remember this time. Let's see. Griggs online, Black Parents online. Let's go with same category. Let's see who's doing talk show podcast. Let's go because I want to meet somebody new. I want to meet new
Find
people.
an Asian guy.
I'm not going by race.
Asian is
Trump
it's a whole bunch
Tuesday.
of different races
That's
into one.
interesting. So we're going to Trump Tuesday. Just like a little education in my life.
Trump it up.
Yeah. We're going to hang out, talk, vibe.
It's Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday. Did you have tacos today?
I didn't. I had pork
didn't.
chops.
I didn't either. I had tenderloin.
Steak.
You and steak. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate y'all's time.
This
See y'all
podcast
Thursday.
is brought to you by
Peace.
Home Depot for the ones that get it done. No.
Don't leave just yet until you